This video is for business leaders who want to get the superior results that you get from having increased self-control or self-discipline, and for training your employees to have the same. So this is actually part 2 of a 2-part series on self-control. It's called Self-Control for a Successful Business. Now this applies to personal matters too, but we're focusing on business, so you can use it for both. Watch to the end of this video for some bonus material and more in-depth techniques that will really help you drive this home. And first of all, we're going to start with what's called the planning fallacy, and you may already know about this. Simply put, most people and most organizations grossly underestimate the time something will take and the effort it will take. Now, one way you can counteract this, and Baumeister did some research on this with his master's students, they essentially put them into 2 groups. Don't look at past material, look at past materials. So for you as a business, you could look at your past projects. Before making an estimate, of course, these projects should be comparable. So look at comparable past projects, business activities, to see how long they took to help you forecast what the next time you do a comparable activity will take. And that's exactly what these students did. And they found that the students who actually did the past personal comparison, that is, they looked at their own research papers and term papers, previous research and term papers, before they made the estimates as to what it would take them to finish their thesis. And they were far more accurate as to how long it took them, but also how long it took their co-students to do the same. So it will work the same way for you. So another strategy is you can write a quick email or a longer, more detailed plan, and you include some time frames in there, and then send it to somebody to get an outside perspective, asking how realistic you think, or sorry, they think that those estimates are. You can, of course, conversely have an accountability buddy and do that between each other. Another thing that's super important, and there's tons of research about how bad sleep deprivation is for every aspect of your brain, because your brain is what needs sleep. A well-rested will is a stronger will. Simple as that. Now, the only way you can really know how long you should sleep is to wake up naturally with no alarms. This is research backed, and it means you don't know how long you're going to sleep unless you wake up before, or better yet, without an alarm. So if you can't wake up without an alarm, that means you're not going to bed early enough. Simple as that. Another thing you can do is you can expend your willpower on neatness. That is, tidy up your workspace. I guess this is kind of like the Kaizen. I can't remember the Japanese term for it, about tidying up, but that's one of the 4 main components of some of the Kaizen principles. And tidying up and putting things in the right place. Research shows that whether it's a website or a workspace, cognitively you burn less willpower, less attention, less glucose in a tidy work area than in a messy or chaotic work area. So you actually probably conserve more willpower by having the discipline to tidy up. You conserve more willpower for the rest of the time that space remains tidy than you spent tidying it up. So you get a good ROI on that. Now, another one, and I thought this was actually amazing, was to break a really entrenched habit like smoking. Do it on vacation. If you stay to the end for the bonus material, I'll go a little more depth into this. I only got 10 minutes, but we're over halfway through now. So if you stay to the end, you'll get that material. Another one is do X or nothing. So for example, you give yourself one set priority task. You do that task for 20 to 90 minutes. You pre-commit to this. 20 to 90 minutes, you can do that set task or nothing else whatsoever. You simply have to sit there. The trick here is basically boring yourself into doing the work you should be doing anyway. Very effective. So for example, for me, these videos, I have to, first thing I do in the day pretty much, I usually meditate, eat, and then write a script. So when I sit down to write that script, I should be doing nothing but writing that script, then if there's something else I could be doing, I should commit to forbidding myself from doing it. Very effective technique. I haven't had to use it because my self-control is such that I'm able to do it without exercising it. But if you're struggling with it, try that technique. I would love to hear from you if you have any good results with that, because I guarantee you it's going to be pretty good. The other one I just mentioned already is pre-commitment. So that is, I will post a video every single day in 2022. I've publicly declared this before. I have fallen off sometimes and actually wound up posting 2 videos in one day when I missed a day or actually posted late for that day. Because of the time difference between here in Japan and you, if you've watched them, you may never have even noticed. But the public commitment and the pre-commitment is fundamental and greatly increases, and research shows this, people's probability of succeeding at making and following through on those commitments, those parts of self-control. So most self-control problems are really based around the inability to resist temptation. And this is where you can again be preemptive and proactive by setting up software that forbids you from going to time-wasting sites, or another technique I'm going to talk about in a second in the bonus material or in a minute or so. So another one you can do, and this shocked me also, and I'm not often shocked when I read research stuff like this because I've read or listened to a lot of it, and that is more frequent tracking of your progress produces a greater level of progress, a greater level of results, and a higher probability of achieving and sticking with your project. And this goes for, and this is why it shocked me, even during weight loss. You should be weighing yourself every single day, because the data has now shown that weighing yourself daily will increase your commitment, your follow through, and the amount of weight you lose by weighing yourself every day. So ignore the advice I would have given you before learning this, which was only weigh yourself once a week. Weigh yourself every damn day. Track your projects at work every damn day. It may only take a second, and it should, but do it every day, and you will greatly increase your monitoring, your self-awareness, and thereby your willpower that you can spend your motivation to continue with the project and keep it on track. Another one, and this is actually comes from the video game industry and all of the data they've collected, now billions of data points. We already knew this. Anybody who actually knew about classical conditioning or operant conditioning already knew this. Reward often with small, frequent rewards, and reinforce occasionally with large rewards, but ideally unpredictable in terms of when they happen. That is, small continuous rewards, effort, reward, effort, reward. Reward should always follow effort, and then an ideally large reward, but at an unexpected or random frequency is the best way to go. It works incredibly well with any animal of any species, including humans. Another thing you can do is outsource your self-control. And one of the places that I would recommend, only because it's in the book, I'm not associated, is mint.com. And that's, I think, mostly about financial, but you can outsource and make public commitments in that to your self-control and what you want to do. So you can also create a lot more success and happiness by going on offense. I've already referred to this in the pre-commitment, and that is using your willpower preemptively and preventatively and proactively to set things up so you spend less willpower ongoingly throughout the day, the week, the year, or whatever. Now, congratulations, you made it to the bonus last minute, and that is to that all habits are strengthened through routine. That means bad habits are strengthened by routine, and so are good ones. So to reinforce a good habit, ritualize it and do the routine. To break a bad habit, break the routine that surrounds it. One of the ways you can do this is with what's called the power of positive procrastination. That is, when you're tempted to do something you know you shouldn't, set a timer for 10 minutes. Say, I'll do it in 10 minutes if I want. And then you can repeat that process over and over again, and maybe you just decide not to do that thing at all. So that's it for episode 198 of 𝗓cie𝗂𝗿.com. I will give you one last thing, and that is a recommended video, which is go watch episode 197, which is Self-Control for Successful Business, Part 1. And this was Self-Control for Successful Business, Part 2. And I have one last request. If you have any questions or want help applying these strategies in your business or workplace, please reach out to me directly at tim@𝗓cie-𝗂𝗿.com, just like this. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.